everyone. I am just having some camera problems. Let me there. Oh, and then I disappeared. That's the way these things roll. Okay, but I'm here now. So that's good to see. And I'm glad to have everyone who's joining us today. We are also going to be putting this to Facebook so that people can see. Just as a matter of starting out so that people have an idea of what to expect today, we are going to have some panelists to talk about the New Horizon programs in our community. If I hear of one thing that is an issue that comes up time and time again from people in our community, particularly seniors, is how can they get more connected to things in the community? It really applies to all age groups, but I find that with seniors, sometimes it can be even just that little bit harder to find ways to get involved. So all of the panelists today, and I will be introducing them in a second, they have this wealth of information that they can bring to you about the programs that they're running through a federal program called the New Horizons program. And the New Horizons program is really about that. It's about empowering seniors. It's about making sure that seniors can build out those community connections. And so they're going to talk about their programs that they're running right now. Most of them have actually run programs in the past as well. So these aren't the only programs. This just gives you a snapshot into what's now. And what I'm going to ask of all of you is you have the ability to pose questions in the chat. If you have questions along the way that you want to ask the panelists, we'll have time at the end that I'll be able to ask them the questions you put in the chat. The other thing is if I'll put some information in there too. If you have suggestions about other kinds of programs that you might like to see, or if you have other questions, then we can get to those. I'll also let you know, just because I have to, it's one of my favorite times of year is when we get to calendar time. We are right now taking entries for our annual calendar through my office. And when we do that, we include, we're asking for if people have pictures of wildlife in the area or their pets. And then your pet or that piece of that bird or wildlife that you've seen, bunnies, all of those things that we get to see in the city, any of those wonderful pictures, then we can include them in the calendar too. So I'll post some information about if you want one of those calendars, if you want to post an entry. Last thing, and I will remind you at the end too, we have a seniors resource booklet through our office. Provides information about a lot of the different resources right here in our community for seniors. Always looking at ways that we can keep it updated with more information. But if you don't have a copy of that seniors resource booklet and you would like one, again, I'll make sure that in the chat you have our email address for our office so that you know how to find us and you know how to get that information. But the real stars of today are our panelists who are going to be talking a bit about the programs that they have. So I will introduce them each right now, and then we'll start kind of going through, and they'll tell you a little bit about it. So the panelists for today, maybe you can just hold up your hands when I get to you. But we have Leslie Ballantyne-Smith from Well Seasoned Productions. We have Joe Sheaf from the Toronto Hausha Cultural Arts Association. We have Shana Hillman from East End Arts. We have Aida Badillo from Apple Grove Community Center, and we have Ara Manrikian from Wood Green Community Services. Perfect. We've got everyone. Why don't we get started with Leslie, and then we can, like I said, if you have any questions along the way, just post them in the chat. We'll make sure we get to them at the end. But I'm going to sign off at the moment and pass it over to you, Leslie.
Hello, I'm Leslie Ballantyne, and I'm a board member for Well Seasoned Productions. We're a small not-for-profit company and a registered charity, and the happy and proud recipients of funding from the federal government's New Horizons for Seniors program. As an entertainment production company, We create works focused on the joys, challenges, and celebration of life 50 and better. We promote the work of senior professional Canadian theatre artists to inspire, celebrate, and promote the vibrant contributions of our senior population. All the while, we try to remain sensitive to and respond to the same varied and ever-changing health challenges that we may all face as we age in our lives. Would you go to the next slide, please? These are two pictures from one of our productions called Young at Heart. And you can see on your screen left, there's a variety of sizes, shapes, and ages in the cast. And on the right is Grant Cowan. Grant was a spry 86 during that show. And you may know Grant from the show You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, where he played the original character of Snoopy, both in New York and on a full North American tour when he was a little bit younger than his spry 88 years today. Next slide, please. As I said, we create productions that entertain, working to change our perception of aging. We want everyone to feel that they're included, regardless of the fact that as we age, we may need some accommodations for mobility, for sight. You don't often see performers on stage wearing glasses or flat shoes, or in their walker. If you take a look at the slide on the left, the fellow with the red sweater, Reed Spencer, next to him, Karen Skidmore, then Mark Candler and Diane Fabian. And if you look closely, you'll see that Diane is in her walker. And again, most companies don't use performers that have mobility challenges. We do our best to accommodate everyone's needs. On the right, there's our first show that was funded by the New Horizons for Seniors program called That's Life. And looking through, I didn't name all of the cast members, but if you take a look through 1, 2, 3, the fourth gentleman from the left, gray hair, fairly short, his name is A. Frank Rufo. And if any of you were TV watchers in the 60s, 70s, he was a dancer on the Pig and Whistle and performed all over Canada and North America. But he was suffering from Alzheimer's when we did this performance. And he had a couple of songs that he could still sing, and we put him on stage, and he was dynamite. I don't think anybody knew there were any challenges, but we made accommodations to ensure that he could come on stage with us and be included and still sing and have the joy of connecting with an audience as he always had. Next slide, please. On the left, we have Helen Dieterville and Jeffrey Prentice. They were doing a little country western dance with our full company during Can't Get Enough. And as you can see from the slide on the right, even though the ages of this group ranged from, I would say, late 50s to Meg Walter, who was our most senior performer, the lady with the gray hair, third from the right, she just turned 88 this year. And in that production, she was, again, a spry 84, but you can see that she's still wanting to move. Next slide, please. One of our mandates is to try and alleviate the social isolation and mental health issues that are associated with reduced opportunities for seniors to gather. We pride ourselves on bringing performers together who may be slowing down in their career opportunities, and they socialize. They often end up getting together outside of rehearsal time, and we enjoy it. On the left, you'll see Lawrence Cotton with Pam Hyatt and Philip Kerr. Now, Lawrence and Philip were in their mid-60s at the time, and Pam Hyatt was a spry 86 during that show. And on the right, there's a close-up of Meg Walter, who, as I say, just turned 88 and is still wanting to be in our productions. Next slide, please. We received funding from the New Horizons for our current project Together Again, and we're currently working on this new musical review, performances scheduled in Toronto at the Alumni Theatre, November 10th, 11th, and 12th. For this show, Together Again, our performers range in age from a young 55 to a dynamic 77. In past, a few of our performers have been a decade older than that. We always look forward to our meet and greets with our audience members in the lobby after each performance. This picture, you can see Mark Candler and Grant Cowan. They were kind of, I don't want to say mobbed, but they were greeted as they were exiting the backstage before they even got to the meet and greet in the lobby. This picture is a still from a video that someone else took while they all sang the closing number, Young at Heart. It was a delight, and we love to meet our audience members and have them show that they enjoy our shows. The opportunity to connect in small groups is an important aspect of what we try to do with Well Seasoned, and we enjoy hearing from our audience members. They often share ideas of what they would like to see included in a future production. Next slide, please. The second part of our grant allows us to edit our 2-act show to a 60-minute concert we call Musical Musings. And then we'll offer it to seniors' residences and long-term care facilities in the GTA from mid-November to the end of our grant period, March 2024. There is no charge for these concerts as they're funded by the New Horizons for Seniors program. The Musical Musings concerts are a pure joy for us. They offer us an opportunity to intimately connect with a smaller audience. We add seasonal sing-along songs, and we provide the songbooks with really large lyrics. And we share the joy and health benefits of socializing and singing together. We greet the audience as they enter the room, and we stay and chat afterwards. And we've received wonderful feedback from all the places we've visited in past. Our performers for all of the shows that we produce through Well Seasoned have credits performing across Canada in theaters large and small, including the Stratford and Shaw festivals, plus Broadway, Disney Cruise Lines. I'm doing a little name dropping. Next poster, please, or next slide. This is the poster for our current production, and we want you to know that at the heart of each of our shows, genuine and humorous look, we hope, at the issues and emotions involved in aging. We want everyone to leave with a song in their heart, a laugh on their lips, and a spring in their steps. Thank you so much, Julie, for your ongoing support and the opportunity to talk about the positive impact the New Horizons funding has provided for seniors. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. I love that you talk about all those spry people who are out there. I've seen your performances. They're great. They were really entertaining. And I think perhaps one of the most touching ones, I've mentioned it before, but just for everyone who's watching, you're interested in going, or if you're a performer yourself who's interested in getting involved, the involvement of the man Frank, who had Alzheimer's, in the production was perhaps one of the most touching things I've ever seen, and he was a great singer. So just really beautiful to see some of those moments that we can bring out in people.
Thank you, Julie. Can I add one more thing just before I mute myself?
Sure, sure.
As you bring up a Frank Rufo, one of the challenges for us dealing with Well Seasoned Productions, because we deal with older performers and older people, is that we often lose them. And so far, Diane Fabian, who I showed in one of the slides in her walker, she has since passed away. She had a massive stroke. And William Orlowski, who was in our first show, had a disease called dystonia, and he died shortly after performing with us. So it's a joy for us to be able to be on stage with them and give them the gift of having the audience, having that interaction that they had through their youth. And it's also a little challenging when we lose them, because we're never quite prepared for that. But we are so grateful for the opportunity to put them back on stage. I can't express it strongly enough.
No, well, and so the plug, because we have to have the plug, performances for this year begin November 10th. It's November 10th and 11th are the dates, and we'll make sure to the chat that we have those times in. So next up is Joe Joshi from Toronto Hausha Cultural Art Association. I have actually seen your organization too, bringing people together, tasted some of the wonderful foods people have cooked, and has seen some of the artwork produced. So really excited to have it go over to Joe now to talk about his organization.
Okay, thank you, Julie. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to share our program. By the way, my name is Joe. I'm from, this is Toronto Huaxia Culture and Art Association. Basically, normally people call us the Huaxia Seniors Club. We have this ongoing project which funded by New Horizon for Seniors Program fundings. Our project is in the name, Healthy and Happy Aging. Please show the next slides. Thank you. We are founded in 2007, and this organization, Toronto Huaxia Culture and Art Association, is a non-profit seniors organization, so dedicated for seniors, and is formed by the Chinese-speaking seniors. The Chinese-speaking seniors are mostly, we are the Mandarin-speaking, most people from mainland China, but we do have people from Hong Kong and Malaysia. They speak Cantonese, and also part of the people from mainland also speak Cantonese, and always also have the members and the participants from Taiwan. They speak kind of a Taiwanese Mandarin. So we are located in a Toronto center, Danforth South, or most of them are gathered in the Regent Park district. Thank you. Please show the other slides. So here are our mission, objectives, and the target group. So our mission is encouraging the well-being in the senior or in the elderly population through engaging them in social health, culture, and artistic activities in the neighborhood and surrounding communities. And the objectives of our program, of our organization, is to celebrating the difference or the diversities, and promoting the choices and inclusion, and encouraging the volunteerism. We have a lot of volunteer activities. And the people or the target group are the senior or the members of this organization, and also people mostly living in the Regent Park area, in those subsidized seniors house. And also we have the target group people, population from some long-term care facilities like nursing home, like Hongxin. Some of those facilities are, there are a lot of Chinese-speaking seniors there. Can you show the next slide? Here is some of our activities. The next slide, please. Here, not the previous one, please. So we conduct this music and art appreciation program, or the programs, and which we believe improving the mental health and cognitive states among the senior people. Besides those appreciation, we also put them on the stage, or doing this, or we participating in the different or variety of the celebration events or festivals in Toronto, like those dragon boat. Like last week we have the Mid-Moon Festival and Canada Day, or the Christmas. So we had appreciation class, and we put them on the show on the stage, so we can see that we are in the lower bottom is the one we are performing in the Gerrard Square community, joined with other organizations. And we also in our program, we're also conducting the nature exploring event. The idea is to enhance the mutual understanding among the old people, and socializing, and to promote the team spirit. People don't like to, especially the Chinese, the elderly, so most of them, they don't speak English, so they feel quite isolated with the society, and so through those outdoor activities, so they appreciate this group spirit. And also we conduct the history and art appreciation by visiting the different sites and museums, and to build empathy through studying the life of other generation, and which helps us to appreciate the culture and the idea and the traditions. Yeah, could you please show the other slide? Yeah, here. So we have outdoor activities, and during the COVID, we started to develop this online program, singing like and also like some lectures or the workshop, for example, preventing the fall down for the old people, like the scam, the online scam identifications. And we also have in-class, we go to the community, we go to the seniors' homes, yeah, to for conducting some of the lectures regarding the aging, regarding the mental health. And we also have like some of our members, most of our members are over 73, 74 years old, and some people have the medical complications, like this gentleman on the bottom right. This gentleman just released from the heart surgery from St. Michael's, and we come up to help to clean up the mess and for shopping, and especially to provide some environment of the empathy to let him to feel that he's not get along, not lived alone. Yeah, so please show the other slides. Yeah, so as I said, for our target group, not only the members of our organization and also the members living in those subside buildings, so we also go to the long-term care facilities. Like this one, this is Hongshen, is 100% of the Chinese elderly, but we do sometimes go to other group home like this Heritage Queen Street. So there are big population of the Chinese seniors. They really like us to like perform there because they consider it's kind of a peer interaction, because they notice that we are not very young compared with them. We are almost about their age, because those people on the stage, so they are over 70 years old. That's just the only difference, that we are still not in that disabled state. Yeah. So this promoting the peer would say sympathy and empathy. Could you show the last slides? Yeah, so this one, I want to talk about this, the impact, the positive or significant impact of this government funding for us, for this seniors populations. So it is empowering our seniors and promote engagement of seniors within our community, which contribute to the well-being. And it's also enabling the independent living by providing the practical support to help the majority of seniors who want to age on site or at home or in our community. It's also creating the inclusive and age-friendly community by providing the essentials, which leading to the fulfilling life and engaging elderly in the community. Thank you very much. This is my presentation from Toronto Huaxia Culture and Art Association. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe. And I have seen the groups that you've had performing. I've seen some of the other activities, and it really is amazing.
We go to all the major events. We go to all the major. Yeah.
But it's nice for people to be able to see. Can you just remind me again, if people are you know, if people are interested in being involved, what are the main languages spoken? Like, is it mainly, you were saying Cantonese?
No, Mandarin.
Mandarin, mainly
Yeah,
Mandarin?
Mandarin. But we do have a lot of people speak both Mandarin and Cantonese. Like people from Hong Kong, they can speak fluently both Mandarin and Cantonese.
Okay.
Officially in writing, the same thing, same character, but just spoken that they are different.
Okay, but so people can participate if they're
Yeah, they do.
either one.
Yeah, either one.
Perfect. Okay, well, the next one, we're on a bit of an arts theme for our first three. We're going to go over to Shayna Hillman, who's with East End Arts. And I've also seen a lot of the programming that you've done in the community. So really excited for you to give a little bit of an update about what are some options for people in the community who are doing New Horizons kind of programs.
Great. Thank you so much, Julie. So I'm Shayna Hillman. I'm the executive director at East End Arts. And we have all kinds of different programs, and a lot of our programs are open to everyone. Basically, our whole goal is uniting, inspiring, and enhancing East Toronto through the arts. So we can go to the next slide. And so we serve the East End of Toronto, everything from the Don Valley Parkway over to Victoria Park, from where the DVP curves at the top, and Eglinton down to the lake. So we are kind of two-pronged. We have inclusive arts programming, events, and services for people who live in East Toronto. And we also provide professional development opportunities to both emerging and established artists and arts organizations in East Toronto. We can go to the next slide. And as part of that, when we say emerging and established artists, as Leslie has pointed out, there's a great wealth of artists who live in our community in Toronto Danforth. And we believe in that people can be artists at any age. So whether that's supporting a youth who is just starting their artistic career or a senior, we have some seniors who've been part of our New Horizons program who, for example, went to the Ontario College of Art and then left that behind, became, for example, a successful radiologist, had their family, and then retired, and now in retirement have come back to that thing that they love the most, which was art. So that's really fantastic. So this is just a little map of our area for people. We can go to the next slide. So we're actually one of the City of Toronto's 6 local art service organizations. And so there are 6 of us there, whether you're living in Scarborough with Scarborough Arts, North York Arts, Etobicoke, and the former city of York. Out in Weston, there's a local art service organization there for you. So our home base is at the St. Matthew's Clubhouse, which is at the edge of Riverdale Park East, just off Broadview. And it's a great home for us, but we do work all around the ward. So we can go to the next slide. And yeah, basically our values are all about inclusion and accessibility and just eliminating barriers and providing access to art for everyone. A big part of what we do is also well-being and understanding, and like Joe mentioned, the idea of how the arts can improve mental health, and Leslie mentioned. And especially, I think we saw that during this last few years of pandemic times, which is really when our seniors programs grew and grew and grew. And just the opportunity that everyone can be creative, and that we really try to have an idea of collaboration in all of our programs, people working together, sharing. What especially excites me about our New Horizons programming is not just the facilitators coming in and working with seniors, but also seeing those seniors who bring such a wealth of experience teaching our facilities who are maybe younger artists, and the knowledge exchange that happens between people. And then we try through all of our work also to have an eye towards sustainability and responsibility. We're right on the park, we're right by the Don Valley. It's really important to us. So this past year, we'll get into showing some of the work in the next slide. We've been this is just some of our impact, but you can see how many seniors we had come through last year. But also we do public art programs. We employ a whole bunch of artists. and work with community partners. I think we've worked with almost everybody on the call today, Apple Grove and things like that. And it's so wonderful. And then we can go to the next slide. We'll start talking more about the actual programs. So we started we had been doing workshops and in-person classes and events at the clubhouse before the pandemic. But then when the pandemic hit, we really had to think about like, how could we reach people that were isolated? So our first project that was funded by New Horizons was Doorstop Diaries. And it was based a little bit on a journaling and diary program that the Brooklyn Museum does, where they give out diaries to community members. They fill them with their thoughts, their dreams, their ideas, their art, and give them back. And it's creating a living museum for the city of Brooklyn. So we wanted to do something like that, but we also wanted it to be a kind of a doorstop diaries and an exchange. So what happened was we had seniors, they met every month online to learn a new art skill, whether it was collage or watercolor or printing, like block printing. And then they would have a month with that diary. They could do all of the journaling and the art projects for the month. There were creative prompts. A lot of them were about the pandemic and what people were going through. And then our wonderful program assistant would come, knock on their door, wait socially distanced back, pick up the journal and move to the next person. So the journal got passed among everyone. So every chapter was a new person adding to the journal, and then they would just rotate around the community. And then at the end, we had this beautiful 30 journals that were on display at the clubhouse that people could come in and leaf through them. And I tell you, they are just the most beautiful and sometimes heartbreaking, but sometimes thought-provoking time capsules of that time that we all lived through and what people's experiences were. They're still in our office. I often will just go and leaf through them. People came to the exhibition. It was up for a week. We had one woman who came almost every day, and she would sit and she read through all of the diaries and saw all the art that people had created. It was so beautiful. So we can go to the next slide. And these are just some pictures from that exhibition, people coming through and looking at them. You could, they're beautiful to look at, but then also to read the stories. We did a poetry component. We can go to the next slide. And then from there, what I really love about our seniors programs is that they are really, since that first one, they are created with and by the seniors who are part of them. We have a seniors advisory group who help come up with the idea of what the program will be. We had a focus group. We created a whole bunch of ideas. Something that kept coming up after Doorstop Diaries was the idea of people wanting to work with textiles. So our next one was all about tapestry program and the idea of using different textile arts to tell stories as well. So similar concept, once a month they meet online, you are taught an online workshop, learning a different skill, whether it be embroidery, natural inks. I mentioned that we think about sustainability. We'll go and collect on walks materials from the Dawn to create natural plant inks to dye fabrics. And then so that was really fantastic. And then when we do a call for artists, the seniors from that advisory council helped write and design the call for artists. And then we also take 5 to 6 volunteers who sit on a peer assessment committee and choose the applications to choose who will be teaching the classes. So it really is led by the seniors, and everyone takes such ownership of the program and really want to see the program succeed. So then everyone picks the artist. We can go to the next slide. And then at the end, so in the tapestry exhibit, everyone created, every month was a different art form, but we were always working on squares that were similar sizes. And at the end, those seniors got together and decided how they would be exhibited as an exhibit that people could come and see. We ended up hanging them from the ceiling. So the idea that people would walk amongst them at the clubhouse, and then people came in to see them. We also did, for the tapestry exhibit, we filmed interviews with a lot of our participating seniors about their experience. And those are all available on the internet as well. People can watch them. And so it's really great. Something else that started to happen was restrictions were lifting and people were really hungry to gather and get together. So again, this program is, for and by the seniors. So they suggested having some meetups. So we've been doing fabric swaps on a regular basis so people can come and trade fabric and other craft materials. This year, we're going to be doing some field trips, and it's almost like having a council of participants who are helping lead that activity. And this is, you'll see on the fourth picture over, that's Alex, our wonderful program assistant who worked with the seniors. And she's just great. And this is when we're talking about the exchange. She's a recent grad from OCAD. And, not only was she teaching and helping with all the tech things, but she was also learning art skills from the seniors. Some of the seniors have gone on to teach other workshops for us. So it's like having a whole new life. So we can go to the next slide. So this year is our most ambitious. It's again, we're still on the textile front. It's called Stitched Stories. So every month, workshops online as well as in person. We have a bigger cohort this year, 40 seniors. So doing all kinds of different textile skills. We just did natural dyeing. We have textile weaving coming up, and every senior is getting their own loom to be able to do that. And then yeah, they'll all come together. They are busy. They have a committee who are already working on the exhibit. We've only had 3 meetups, but we already have a committee who are working to plan the exhibition for March, and it'll be really fantastic. Yeah, we can't wait to see what this group is going to put together. We're doing field trips to the Royal Ontario Museum, the Textile Museum, and then we always try to arrange to have a curator or someone from the museum come and talk to our group while we're there to learn more about different techniques and styles. So we're really excited. And I think there's only one more slide. And it is, this is a breakdown of all of the workshops they're doing this year. So I mentioned printmaking, when they're doing textile pattern design, natural dyeing. We have an Inuit style tapestry art workshop coming up. We're also in that vein of being really interested in sustainability, looking at clothing repair, woven darning, and visible mending. The idea of being conscious of how much we consume and reusing and repurposing things, embroidery, which is always popular, and then ending with that textile weaving workshop before the exhibition. And I think we have some pictures of our welcome party for this year. This next slide. Yes. So now we can get together and do things. It's been really important. People are really loving it. We're also conscious there are folks who are immunocompromised in our group. So we also want to make sure that when we do have in-person things, there's always an option for other folks to join us and participate as well. That's a little bit about Stitched Stories. The exhibition will be in March at the St. Matthew's Clubhouse. So everyone, of course, is invited to come. We'd love you to see the work. You can also sign up. I think there's one more slide just with our contact information. Visit eastendarts.ca, sign up for the newsletter. We only send one a month. We're not going to spam you. And not only is there all kinds of things on there about programs, but also if you are an artist or maybe a lapsed artist who wants to get back into it, there's also all kinds of information about other arts activities happening in the community and resources that you can share.
I
Thank you.
love that. Thank you so much, Shayna. And honestly, those diaries are so beautiful, eh? Like just to see what people come up with. And I think it's really nice that there's two ways that people can participate. They can be part of doing the art if they want to do the workshops, but then you can also come to the exhibits and see it. And maybe if you're unsure, check out the exhibit in March and see what's created and talk with some of the participants and see if that's the thing that you'd be interested in doing for the next time around. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, it honestly, I've seen so much of the art and I've seen people in the different workshops at East End Arts. It's really a nice way to bring people together. And what I like about it is also a lot of the people in workshops like the one you're talking about aren't professionals. Like there are people who just are interested in coming together and creating something together. So it's really nice to have, you know, places where if it's your point of entry, you don't necessarily have all the confidence yet. I feel like those workshops will give you some of that confidence. Great. The next person we have up is Aida Bayadillo from Apple Grove Community Complex to talk about some of the work that's happening over at Apple Grove.
Yes, hi, good evening, everyone, and nice meeting you. So my name is Aida, and I am just very new on this position as a adults and seniors program coordinator. It's been only 2 months in this position, so bear with me. I'm learning a lot, but I love being here. I love to know about all the agencies and the panelists. Is very inspiring. Most of the art is wonderful, and all you do, of course. So my presentation maybe would be a little bit boring for you, but because I don't have any slides, but I will start by telling you about what Apple Grove is. So the Apple Grove Community Complex is a multi-service community center, and we are located in Toronto's Greenwood and Coswell neighborhood. So our mission is to be a neighborhood partnership, fostering community through social and informative programs for all individuals and families. And Apple Grove delivers social and educational programs for infants, children, youth, families, adults, and seniors. And also we host community meetings and events. We also support action on local issues. We partner with others and provide valuable volunteer and employment opportunities in our community. So the core programming includes a weekly pre-postnatal program, 2 early on programs, 2 daily after-school programs, 2 youth programs, daily summer camps for children and youth, and a seniors program with daily activities as well as special initiatives that include computer tutoring, income tax clinics, annual active living fair, and health and wellness workshop series. So Apple Grove, through the Seniors Active Living Center, SAC, programming, we identified a need for seniors to learn more about food in a practical and interactive way. So the proposed Taste of the Seasons project builds on our hugely successful food champions. This is our project. And this project, the Food Champions, allows participants to continue to increase their access to affordable food, as well as their knowledge on local food production, preserving methods, and cooking with seasonal ingredients. So the activities proposed in our project include participants exploring through excursions in and out of the city to experience food-based workshop and programs. So this project will not only provide participants an opportunity to enjoy a day with their peers through social interaction, but it also provides an opportunity for vulnerable low-income seniors, an opportunity to build skills connected to independent living and community building through the series of cooking and canning workshops led by the Club Sandwich. So participants who are interested in attending these workshops are involved in planning and purchasing fresh ingredients at our farm and farmers market excursions. And so everything that is bought will be used for cooking and canning workshops. So for example, last August, we took our seniors to Niagara on the Lake for the Peach Festival. And they had the opportunity to see and choose where to buy the peaches. And then on the following session of workshop of the food champions, so they prepare delicious peach cheesecake. And it was just a great experience, from buying all what they need to learn about the process and then the result, and then enjoy the result. So through this project, we also recruit senior volunteers to plan and help run our 10 good food markets at the moment. So every month we have a good food market, and usually happens at Apple Grove, but also at a seniors building. And so they are also involved in ordering and organizing the produce, and also giving the prices, and also they help with the display. So the New Horizons project has given seniors the opportunity to learn skills and techniques that will allow them to cook healthy, affordable, and locally sourced meals. They have had access to the monthly good food market that allow them to purchase fresh and seasonal produce at an affordable cost. So this project also supports the social participation and inclusion of seniors. So through the planned excursions and workshops and the good food markets, the social participation has increased, and increased connections among residents from diverse backgrounds. So for example, we're on our cooking workshops, like last Friday, we had the Chinese cuisine, right? So they go and buy all what they need at an affordable price, and then they learn about the process of how to cook a Chinese dish. Actually, they prepared three wonderful Chinese dishes. And we have had Mexican cuisine, and we're going to have a South Asian cuisine workshop as well in the following weeks. So this is an opportunity to get together and enjoy local diverse food. So as I said, these opportunities have also allowed for participants to connect with their community peers. So engaging in day-long activities over a course of a few months has allowed for participants to create lasting friendships and support systems that they can later call on. So the seniors participants have benefit from the Taste of the Season project in the following ways: opportunity to participate in food-based excursions and engage in social interaction with peers, which has reduced social isolation. And this project has also increased knowledge in local food production, preserving methods, and cooking with seasonal ingredients. And also seniors have access to free or affordable food options in their local residence. And also the opportunity for vulnerable and isolated seniors to connect with Apple Grove, the Club Sandwich, and St. Joseph residents through other activities and support.
Thank you, Aida. What I like about the Apple Grove things, first of all, one of the things I loved over COVID was actually that there was a phoning program where people would actually call seniors and check in every day just to see how people were doing, because it was a time of tremendous isolation, and Apple Grove just picked up the ball and ran with that. But the connection with food is so amazing too. It just food has a way of bringing people together and learning from each other. We can all tell stories about the foods we like and the foods we don't like. So it's really nice to have that as a way to bring people together.
Yes.
What I'm going to do is pass it on to our last person, but then there will be time for questions. I see a couple of people have put in questions already in the Q&A that I've answered a couple as we go. If you have any other questions, even if you missed the first part of the presentation, feel free to put in a question if you have one. But our next presenter is Ara Manrikian from Wood Green Community Services to talk about your programs. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Julie. If I may share my screen. Just allow me to share my screen and I can.
I'm gonna have to check with the person back because the others have provided their slides beforehand. So let me see if we can arrange that on the back, and maybe if you start talking just briefly while we try and coordinate.
Sounds good. Let me actually resend the slides, but I can begin. My name is Aura Mandrikan. I'm here from Wood Green Community Services. I manage the Seniors Active Living Centers and Outreach programs that include about close to be 6 Seniors Active Living Centers, and it also includes our friendly visiting, medical escorts, and a friendly caller programs. And today I will be talking about a project that has been funded by the New Horizons grant, and that project is called Seniors Sandbox. I'm just going to resend the slides to Mariah, and I hope I'll be able to
that would
share
be
my
great.
screen.
If you send them to Mariah, that's easier. We're trying to give you the sharing, but right now, if you send them ahead, we'll try and get them up as soon as we can. You're all about Sandbox.
Gorgeous. And so maybe I can just take the time and talk a bit more about us. Wood Green Community Services is really one of the largest social service agencies in Toronto. We span about 40 locations. We have about 75 programs at this point, with a rich history of spanning 85 years. Collectively, we have served over 37,000 people, about a staff of 750 and about 1,000 volunteers. And my program specifically, which is the Wood Green Seniors Active Living Centers, we really provide in-person and virtual health and wellness programs, educational workshops, community engagement activities, cultural events, as well as falls prevention classes, and pretty much a wide variety of programming that is designed to help seniors stay healthy, active, and independent. Currently, I was happy to find out more that all of us here are neighbors. We are located at about 5 centers right now, soon to be 6. It's at intersection of Broadview and Danforth, Queen and Pape, Logan and Gerard. One location that's at 500 Kingston Road, which is around the Upper Beaches area. And we've recently also expanding towards west, where we'll have a large Seniors Active Living Centers at St. Hilda's Towers. And that's something that I'm very excited about. Hopefully for the upcoming New Horizons grants, we will be able to also apply for some programming there. I'm just wondering if you had received my slides, if it's possible to share my screen from here. I'll try to present it to you, but
we're just checking into that right now. Somebody's watching, they're watching for it right now. If you don't mind, oh, there you go, Mariah.
To interrupt, Julie. Oh, yeah, you can share now. You should be able to share.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. There we go. So just wanted to give you locations, and throughout the years, elements of our programs have been funded by the New Horizons grant, and I really wanted to give an overview as to what we do and to tie it into the project that we're funded for this fiscal year. Our programming can be categorized into these sort of broader categories, as we provide physical activities and exercise programs, educational and skills building workshops, social and recreational activities, as well as special events, launch-ons, and outings. And throughout the years, we were able to purchase our equipment for our exercise classes through the New Horizons grant. And throughout the years, we're also able to partner up with various social service agencies such as 880 Cities, and be able to, right after the COVID hit, we couldn't do any programming indoors. And so, thanks to funding from the New Horizons grant, we were able to purchase lots of equipment for exercise that we could do outdoors. We also do provide lots of educational skills building workshops that can be ranging from arts and crafts and painting and memory workshops, and monthly presentations with various guest speakers that deal with various topics, as well as health and wellness info sessions. We also have a broad range of recreational activities who throughout the years the New Horizons grant was able to support. Those ones have been particularly popular right after COVID, as we were allowed to gather together indoors, and we were able to bring back the programming that our senior members had really missed the most. Here you'll see one of our members, Alan, with an exotic lizard. And we were able to do a lot of special things thanks to the funding from the New Horizons grant. We're also providing various special events, and by the way, because we're all neighbors, we have lots of special events happening at 721 Broadview Avenue, which is at the intersection of Broadview and Danforth. You are welcome to stop by and really take part of our special events and programs. Here's a little picture from one of our members, who I believe is 92 years old, and it was a live jazz performance with students from the University of Toronto, and it was just an amazing event. Again, it's free. You're all welcome to join. You'll have an amazing time. And we also do lots of outings and door-to-door meal deliveries and lunch programs with our seniors, and that is across our active living centers. Once you're a member of one active living center, you can attend as many programs as you want at all of our centers. Mind you, if there is space for the programs, our programs are primarily in English and Mandarin. And I really want to talk about a really special project that the New Horizons grant funded this year. It is called Seniors Sandbox. So the Seniors Sandbox is a pilot project that's really designed to include seniors as co-designers and co-developers in Wood Green services, with the goal of enhancing our program delivery, increasing our capacity, really building resilience right after COVID, and really to respond to the changing needs of older adults, which I'm sure all of us have felt the weight of in our communities in the aftermath of the pandemic. The Senior Sandbox is really led by Wood Green Senior Advisory Council. And here I must say, the superpower behind Wood Green Seniors programming is the Advisory Council. I am thankful and very grateful to have a partner in our advisory group, a co-chair whose name is Barb McCutcheon. And the members of our Senior Advisory Council have been volunteers with Wood Green for well over a decade. It's a group of diverse seniors. Right now, we have about 12 members, come from diverse backgrounds, diverse lived experiences, anyone ranging from mid-60s all the way to our oldest member is 92. We look forward to celebrating her 93rd birthday in March. And really what happened with the Senior Sandbox project is that after the COVID-19, we really need to really rethink seniors programs. And, the best way to do that was to do it with seniors themselves. Our motto was nothing about seniors without seniors. And with our senior advisory group, then we created this Senior Sandbox project. The idea behind the sandbox being that it's a safe and an inclusive space where you can experiment with ideas. And that's what we would really do. We essentially are a think tank for the Wood Green Seniors programming, where we co-design projects and ideas and of various lengths. And this year we submitted another application to the New Horizons grant. Again, the ideas come from our Wood Green Senior Advisory Council. At this point, we have like an idea bank that's set up with many ideas that can really have a great impact in our community. Some of those ideas are relatively, on a smaller scale that can be done within a few months. Some of them are much more sort of longer in time horizon that we're going to take on, and we really look forward to sort of this to expand our Senior Sandbox project from there. And the beauty of this project was its sustainability. Once we get together, there are virtually unlimited ideas that we come up with, and then we put them together and we create projects out of those. The goal of the Senior Sandbox was to include seniors as co-creators of solutions that are designed to serve them. And we work on capturing on what really matters the most to seniors to gain insight. And most importantly, then from then on, it's not just a think tank, but it's like a think and do tank. Then from then on, we identify opportunities that we can capitalize on to make those ideas real. And then together we work on bite-sized projects that are designed around those specific needs of seniors that we have collectively identified right now. And of course, the goal for Wood Green as well is that it really enhances our capacity to do our programs, provide our services in a way that makes the most impact. And culmination of the Seniors Sandbox project that's going to again go for many years, hopefully, is the creation of a seniors a sandbox playbook, which is essentially a guide to seniors programming, and essentially is a guide for co-creating services with seniors themselves. All of us have realized how fast things are changing, and we have identified that we really need to be very forward thinking in how we discuss issues that relate to seniors' health and wellness, and together come up with solutions that are going to help the seniors in our community not only age in place, but age in place with dignity, with meaningful community engagement. One of our members, Sheila, who is 92, she said, I'm retired from work, but I'm not retired from life. And so together we need to come up with solutions that address those complex needs of seniors. And here's just a snapshot of one of our workshops that we did, where all of those sticky notes were ideas on their own that together we could create projects around to address. And some of those ideas have materialized into grant applications, and one of them has been also submitted to this year's New Horizons grant. And what we really designed our Sandbox project around was also meeting the program objectives of the New Horizons grant, primarily being promoting volunteerism among seniors and other generations, engaging seniors in the community through the mentoring of others, and supporting social participation and inclusion of seniors, and the national priority of celebrating diversity and promoting inclusion. All of our members are volunteers, and you will be amazed as to the ideas that we discuss. And me and the Wood Green team that we're also on the committee, we're just there profusely taking notes, and to be able to then capture all that wealth of knowledge and that wealth of experience into really concrete and actionable steps. And we're able to submit another great proposal looking forward to hearing more about the announcement of that in February. And we're looking forward to the next year to, again, be part on a webinar and share how the Senior Sandbox project from this year gave, it sort of gave birth to more projects that so will soon to be funded next year. And I will also like to maybe include this in our chat. This is where you can learn more about Woodgreen Community Services. Our impact report had just been released, and also my contact information. In March, when the Seniors Sandbox's playbook will be released, it will also be on our website, and it'll be my pleasure to share it with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ara. And that was a whole lot about a lot of really helpful information there too. I have one question in the chat that I haven't been able to answer on my own, which is for Aida. And it was about your computer programming from Marguerite. She was asking, and it's true, I've heard about this from a lot of people, that people are looking for more opportunities for computer tutoring. And so maybe if you could talk a little bit more about what you can do to support seniors who want to learn more about how to use computers. How can they sign up? And I will point out that I know that Eastview Community Center also runs some computer tutoring programs for seniors. So that's another resource that I have seen. But maybe Aida, if you can jump in.
Yes, what we do is on one-on-one sessions, and is basically the senior call us and just register, and we set a time that is good for both parts, the let's say the counselor and the participant, and usually it's in the mornings after 11. And so we just make the time for that, and it's one-on-one, and we just teach them basic stuff about how to use a laptop or a computer. We start from zero for all the basics first, and then if they have any question, like if they try to use Zoom, for example, so we have a session using Zoom, and we teach them all the buttons and all the stuff that is there, and also how to share the screen, or maybe they want to use Messenger, right? So we kind of guide them with those things. So it's ongoing, and it's just very casual. It doesn't have to be every single week. It's whenever they can, and whenever there is staff available to do that. And it can be any staff, not only myself, it can be any staff at Apograph that is available. And usually we have many people helping.
Yeah. That's amazing, and thank you, because it's something that I definitely hear of a lot from people. So I appreciate that as like a little bit of information. And I think one of the questions that I also hear from people now is just wanting to know about the different programs that we've talked about. And I know that we're almost out of time, so I want to be sure if I can get everyone to give one last pitch as to if they want to know more about your programs. Can you just mention quickly your information? We will be posting it also online, so we'll make sure that it's there. But if I can just start with Leslie and work through with just what's your contact information, just that way people who might have missed it the first time have it, and then we'll get a quick chance to say goodbye. So I'll start with you, Leslie.
Thank you, Julie. And just thank you to everybody for your care of seniors. I'm amazed to be a part of this wonderful group in Toronto Danforth. You can reach me at wellseasonedproductions.ca, or you can email me directly, leslie@wellseasonedproductions.ca. But just probably easiest, Well Seasoned Productions. If you Google it, we'll come up. Or if you can't find us, go through Julie's office. They'll send the link. And I look forward to speaking with so many of you about shows that we can offer for free on this New Horizons program. We'd be delighted to come to your locations and offer our musical musings.
Fun, thank you. And we did post Well Seasoned to the chat so that you have that. I see, and then for Joe, would you be able to just tell us quickly, and we'll make sure we put it in too.
Yeah, I will put our contact email address here in the chat box here.
We will repost that to the general chat and we'll make sure that it's public
Sure.
for people too.
Okay.
And then if I can also have the next person was Shayna, you had your information on the final slide, but if you can just tell people your contact info quickly.
Yeah, so it's eastendarts.ca. On our website, up on the top right corner, you'll see the news button. Click that and you can join our newsletter. As I mentioned, it's once a month. We don't spam you, but everything's also on the website. But if you want to get it right into your inbox, sign up for that newsletter. It's a wealth of stuff, not only that we're doing, but all kinds of other arts programming in Toronto Danforth.
Awesome. Aida, I know that you just put it in there too, but if you want to just say it out loud for anyone who's better just hearing it.
Yes, so the email is seniors@applegrovecc.ca and my phone number 647-548-8143.
Awesome. And last but not least, Ara, if you can give us your quick contact information.
Thank you. So I also posted it in the chat, but you can email me at amanrikyan@woodgreen.org. You can also visit our website, woodgreen.org, and under senior services, you'll be able to see our programs.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of you for all of the amazing programs that you put on, and for everyone who's been participating. Thank you for joining today. If you have more questions, if you have more feedback about the kind of seniors programs you'd like to see, there are lots of different opportunities. These are some of the great New Horizons programs that we've helped to support this year. Just reach out, at any time. My office is julie.debruson@pearl.gc.ca. We posted it in the chat so you can find it. And we always like to hear your feedback too. So thank you, everybody. Have a great night.